Every 4 years, we're told this election is the most important one of our lifetime, that everything will change, that the winner will transform the country. Millions of people vote, campaigns spend billions of dollars, and the media covers every poll and debate like it's life or death. Then the election happens. A new person takes office. And somehow, nothing fundamentally changes. Ever wonder why? Democrat or Republican, conservative or liberal, red wave or blue wave. We treat elections like they're going to solve everything or ruin everything, depending on which side wins. But here's what nobody wants to admit. The game is rigged. Not in the way conspiracy theorists talk about, not with secret meetings in smoke-filled rooms. The game is rigged by the structure itself, by the rules that don't change no matter who wins. The president changes. Congress flips. New faces, new promises, new slogans, but the machine keeps running the same way. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why elections, as important as they are, don't actually change the rules of the game. The permanent system. Let's start with a basic truth. Politicians come and go, but the system is permanent. When a new president takes office, they don't get to rebuild the government from scratch. They inherit a massive bureaucracy that's been growing for decades. The federal government employs about 2.9 million civilian workers. Add in contractors and you're looking at millions more. These people don't leave when a new president arrives. They stay. They have civil service protections. They have institutional knowledge. They know how things work. And they keep doing what they've always done, regardless of who's sitting in the Oval Office. This is called the deep state. But that phrase has become so politicized, it's almost useless now. Call it the permanent bureaucracy. Call it the administrative state. Whatever you call it, it's real and it's more powerful than any elected official. A president can sign executive orders all day long, but those orders have to be implemented by people in the bureaucracy. If they don't like the order, they can slow walk it, reinterpret it, find legal loopholes, tie it up in procedures and regulations until the next election when maybe they get a president they like better. The money never stops flowing. Here's another uncomfortable reality. Elections don't change who really funds our political system. In the 2024 election cycle, over $15 billion was spent on federal races. Billion, with a B. That money doesn't come from regular people making small donations. Most of it comes from corporations, wealthy individuals, super PACs, and special interest groups. And here's the thing about big money. It doesn't pick just one side. It hedges its bets. Major corporations donate to both parties. Wall Street banks fund both candidates. Tech companies, pharmaceutical companies, defense contractors, they all spread money around to ensure that no matter who wins, they have access. This is why certain policies never change. Why do we spend $800 billion a year on defense? Because defense contractors fund campaigns on both sides. Why do prescription drug prices stay high? Because pharmaceutical companies have lobbyists working with both parties. The rules are written in concrete. Let's talk about the actual structure of government, because this is where it gets really depressing. The Constitution is incredibly difficult to amend. You need 2/3 of both the House and Senate plus 3/4 of state legislatures. When was the last time anything got that level of agreement? The 27th Amendment was ratified in 1992, and it was about congressional pay. Before that, 1971. The system is designed to resist change. The founders wanted stability, and they got it. Maybe too much of it. But it's not just constitutional amendments. Even regular laws are nearly impossible to pass if they challenge the status quo. The Senate filibuster means you need 60 votes to pass most legislation. In our current polarized environment, getting 60 senators to agree on anything meaningful is a fantasy. So what gets passed? Small stuff. Symbolic stuff. Things that don't threaten powerful interests. Real reform? Forget it. Breaking up monopolies? Not happening. Overturning Citizens United? Dream on. Fundamental tax reform? Good luck. Every election, candidates promise these big changes, and maybe they genuinely want to deliver, but then they get to Washington and discover that the rules make it almost impossible to do anything dramatic. The two-party trap. Now let's address the elephant and donkey in the room, the two-party system. Republicans and Democrats fight about a lot of things: cultural issues, taxes, healthcare, immigration, the list goes on. And those fights are real. They matter to people's lives. But on certain fundamental issues, both parties are remarkably similar. Both parties support massive military spending. Both parties bail out big banks when they fail. Both parties take corporate money. Both parties support trade policies that benefit multinational corporations. Both parties expand government surveillance. Both parties protect the political establishment. You're not offered a real choice on these issues. You're offered a choice between two versions of the same basic system. Third parties can't break through because the system is designed to keep them out. Ballot access laws, debate requirements, winner-take-all elections, first past the post voting. All of it creates a duopoly. Prime mort, the real power. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The most powerful branch of government isn't elected at all. Supreme Court justices serve for life. They're appointed by presidents and confirmed by the Senate, but once they're on the bench, they're untouchable, and their decisions shape the country for decades. Want to change campaign finance laws? The Supreme Court says no in Citizens United. Want to reform healthcare? The Supreme Court decides what's constitutional. Want to regulate businesses differently? The court determines what the government can and can't do. Elections determine who gets to appoint justices, but those justices then make decisions that outlast any president or Congress. A single court decision can override the will of millions of voters and stay in effect for generations. And good luck changing it. You'd need a constitutional amendment, which, as we discussed, is nearly impossible. Or you need to wait for justices to die or retire and hope you get enough appointments to shift the balance. The Supreme Court is the ultimate example of how elections don't change the rules. The rules change the elections. Why this matters. So why am I telling you all this? To make you cynical? To convince you not to vote? No, exactly the opposite. I'm telling you this so you understand what elections can and can't do. So you stop expecting politics to solve problems that politics structurally cannot solve. Elections matter. They absolutely matter. The difference between one president and another affects people's lives. Tax policy changes. Regulations shift. Judicial appointments have long-term consequences. But elections don't change the fundamental rules of the game. If you want real change, you need to think beyond elections. You need to organize. Build movements. Apply pressure from outside the system. Change the culture. Change what's politically possible. The uncomfortable truth. Here's the truth that makes people uncomfortable. The system is working exactly as designed. It's not broken. It's not corrupted. This is what it's supposed to do. Maintain stability. Protect existing power structures. Resist radical change. The founders created a system that makes it very difficult for any one person or faction to accumulate too much power. That's good in some ways. It prevents tyranny, but it also prevents change. What we call gridlock and dysfunction, that's a feature, not a bug. The system is doing exactly what it was designed to do: slow things down, require consensus, protect the status quo. You can be angry about that. You can fight to change it. But first, you have to understand it. The game is rigged, but it's not unwinnable. You just have to understand what game you're actually playing. If this video gave you a different perspective, hit that like button and share it. Drop a comment and let me know. Do you think real change is possible within the current system, or do we need to change the system itself? Subscribe for more uncomfortable truths about how power really works. I'll see you in the next one.